everyone. It is Wednesday, April 1st, and I think I should bring you up to speed on where everyone is. I am really sorry I wasn't here last week. I have been snowed under with coursework, sociology, and other essays and things, but my sociology coursework is basically done now. I'm going to hand it in tomorrow, so that's out of the way. I'm back. Joanna's been really busy getting things together for her application to university, I think. I think that's what she's still working on. I haven't spoken to her in a few days, so I'm trusting that she's just really busy. So she isn't here either. Abby has sent me a message. I think there's something wrong with her computer again. So she's not here, and now Marta is away on a trip to Brazil, but we've got the wonderful Zoe covering her for 2 weeks, so hi Zoe. I know last week was a bit empty, though I think Marta covered the subject really well, but I don't think there was a word set for this week, so I went on the random word generator and I got the word cinema. And this kind of just blew everything wide open. This is again another subject which could leave me rambling for a long time, but I'm going to try and keep it to 3, 4, maybe 5 minutes tops. 5 tops, okay? Right? I'm not going to be able to discuss everything I like about it, but I'll just dive right in there. You think film and cinema, you normally think about the score or soundtrack. One of my favourite scores is To Kill a Mockingbird. And I was discussing with Rob the other day how wonderful the score to the Harry Potter films are, and that is truly one of my favourites. I'm sorry I'm not going to go into these, I'm just going to bring you through. But I love the score to this film. Films of which I love the soundtrack. I wouldn't be in love with The Cure, I wouldn't have ever discovered my love for The Cure if it weren't for these two coming around the same time, late 2006. Both trailers involve Cure songs, and I was like, what is that? That's awesome. So I love these. Donnie Darko, always been a favourite soundtrack of mine. Love the 80s. These are all 80s films. Coincidence? Don't think so. Then you've got sort of film documentaries about music, like Sigur Ros's Heimer, biopics, Walk the Line. I don't know what category you put this in. And then you get other films just about music, which have wonderful new music in them, like Once, which is well recognised. Moving on again, you get the lovely genre of sort of films spoofing music. All-time favourite of mine, this is Spinal Tap. Some of my friends I've watched it with before and they're just sort of clueless as to what it is, but I think if you have any knowledge of rock music and any of actual stories of what's happened to some rock musicians, this is just instantly hilarious. And then you have the genre of musicals. All-time favourite film of ever. No matter what I say about any others, this will always have a special place in my heart. And you don't have the sound of music without music, okay? Music in cinema is just, it is this film in one. But here for me, I'm kind of stretching the word cinema a bit here, I'll admit, and I'm sorry, but I'm going to go to just live performance films for musicians. This is just a selection of mine that were just near my bed for some reason. The thing I love about live performance DVDs, or just live performance footage, is just because it's different from the studio album. Because when you're like me and you'll listen to it over and over and over again, it's just so refreshing to hear a live recording of it. So when music is united with film into something I can see and not just listen to, it's wonderful. And I think nothing exemplifies that more than Led Zeppelin's The Song Remains the Same. Now if you want to just watch a film and laugh at Led Zeppelin for thinking they were way more important than they probably were, then feel free to make fun of them all you want from watching this, for all the in-between song sort of mythical fantasy sequences. But I came to love Led Zeppelin because of a period of, I don't know how many years ago now, but MTV2, for some reason, there must have been a chart going around at that time, kept on showing the performance of Stairway to Heaven from this DVD. And the radio was playing it a lot. And so I came to love Stairway to Heaven. But then what I loved about it more was the fact that on this version, Robert Plant ad-libs after the line, and the forest will echo with laughter. Does anybody remember laughter? And that always stuck in my mind. So that was always what I would hear when I heard the studio version. And I was quite surprised to find out recently that when they were editing for this film again, Robert Plant was cringing at that and wanted to edit it out, but the guy who was making the film with said, no, you've got to keep that in there because it's what people remember. That is exactly it. That's what makes live performances so different and special. It's those little moments that you don't hear otherwise. Music in cinema, again, in a wholly different guise to Sound of Music, and yet I think they're equally special to me. And then you have this, which I actually saw in the cinema, and it was such a uniting experience that it was the first time I've ever been in a cinema and just talked to the random person next to me. Funnily enough, I had been planning on recording this video earlier, but I was flicking through TV channels and Ziggy Stardust the Motion Picture was on. How apt. I think I've probably gone on long enough, and I'm sorry that I just sound like a rambling idiot again, and I haven't actually probably informed you of anything. I've just expressed my opinions on when I think cinema and I think music. This is what comes into my mind. Zoe, I guess I'll be seeing you next on Friday. Feel free to pick the word for next week. I look forward to seeing you.